What's going on there, guys? My name is Matt, or Chewy, as most of you will know me as, and in this month's Thrustmaster sponsored video, as you can tell, we're back in Microsoft Flight Simulator and back in the FA-18 Hornet with the Top Gun DLC. Although technically this isn't the Top Gun DLC, because some amazing person on the in the Microsoft Flight Simulator community has actually made a modification where you can get the carrier, the aircraft carrier that's inside the Top Gun DLC, and they've made some, basically some areas of the world where it spawns in and moves, just like real-world carriers do, obviously. And so the objective today is to see if I can land on one. So we're off the Gulf of California, or the coast of California at the moment, in the FA-18 Hornet, and we're going to see what we can do. So as you can see, there's the carrier group just ahead of us. I did try and turn off the carrier marker there that you can see, but for some reason in the options it's not turning it off, which is a little bit annoying, but there's not really a whole lot at this stage that I can do about that, so we're just going to have to put up with that. Also, as a side note today, we're going to be using the Toby eye tracker to control all of our head movements. I'm still kind of fine-tuning my settings on it, so sorry if it looks a little bit jerky at times, but it's a really, really cool piece of hardware to use. Basically, just to kind of, you know, make things easier so that you don't have to take your hands off of the control columns whatsoever to change your view. Hardware-wise, we're using the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog, my trusty HOTAS Warthog now, which I've been using for over half a decade. And of course, we have the FA-18C grip add-on as well to use to make things ultra-realistic for the Hornet today. So, I mean, I've done Case 1 recoveries, or kind of attempts at Case 1 recoveries in the past in DCS, but never really done one before in Microsoft Flight Simulator, so we'll see how it goes. I can't remember any of the altitudes or anything like that, but I kind of fancy a bit of a fly past first, a bit of a Maverick style low altitude, high speed approach. I need to find out where the carrier is though. There it is. So let's increase the speed. Of course, the big difference between this aircraft and the one in the in DCS is that DCS it's the FA-18C, the older Hornet, and this is the Super Hornet, as it's affectionately known. Right, here we go. We're not going too fast, but let's just give it a bit of welly, pull a few G's as well. Say hello to everybody on the carrier deck, and then we'll come past and try and do some sort of a Case 1 recovery. We'll give it a go. There we go, there's about 500 knots. How you doing, folks? How cool does that look? Especially in the visuals of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Unbelievable. Okay, let's swing it all the way around. Try and bleed off a bit of that speed. As I say, I am fine-tuning the camera movements here. So apologies if the head tracking isn't perfect. There it is, the carrier surrounded by, I don't know, are they frigates? What's the official word for them? If I call them a boat instead of a ship or a carrier or something, I'll get told off in the comments section by those of you who are boat ship experts, won't I? Alright, let's turn in and try and do this recovery. I'll get the speed going for a while. Landing gear and flaps down below 250 knots, which is plenty for us. And so what we're going to do is we're kind of going to do an upwind leg to the right-hand side of the carrier. And then we'll turn across, turn downwind, turn base, and then try and land and hope that we don't screw it up too much. One thing that I've been finding just on a few practice runs that I've done this morning before recording this is that I do find that I get a little bit low on the approach. So we'll just watch out for that. Try and keep some altitude in. As I say, I'm sure this won't be by the book, but I'll do my best. Okay, trying to keep the carrier in sight as always as reference. Of course, one thing to note is that the landing strip on the carrier is offset, right? Okay, so things are looking good. Let's bring the tail hook down, otherwise we're going to be in trouble without that. Let's bring the landing gear down and all the flaps down as well. And then I'm going to need to add some power as we turn towards downwind. Okay, so landing gear is coming down. Flaps are green as well. I've just seen the notification on there. We're about 1,000 feet, 240 knots. And we'll keep going for a little bit. Just give myself a little bit of room to play with. Of course, I shouldn't actually be putting too much input into the actual elevators themselves. Trim and power are the key ones for this, but it's easier said than done, I'll be totally honest with you. Okay, let's go for it now. I've probably come out way too far. I'm sure with the Case 1 recovery in real life, you'd be turning in a lot earlier than this, but for a newbie like me, who's just used to flying airliners mainly, it's a bit different. Okay, let's keep the power in as we make the turn, watching out for the velocity vector in the E bracket there. Keeping the speed in, try not to get too low, as I say. Okay, let's try and turn in now. We see the flashing red light on the back of the carrier. I think I'm okay with the speed at the moment. Maybe a little bit of trim needs to come in. Still not quite on final, so we'll do another turn. There we go. Right, here we go. Let's keep the speed in now. I think it's about 127 knots is what we're aiming for. Around about there. Okay, a little bit fast at the moment. To try and trim. Don't want to get too low on the profile. I don't think I'm lined up exactly where I want to be. As I say, it's that offset. Yeah, we are a little right for lineup. We might get waved off here. I think we are actually going to get waved off here. Let's go around. So we know that heading. It's going to be a little bit further. I was kind of on about a 125 heading there. We wanted to be more so on about 110, 105 maybe. So let's use that. And remember that for next time. I'm going to keep the landing gear and everything in. We won't do the full maneuver as we did earlier on. We'll just try and swing it around once more. Again, trying to keep the carrier in good order visually. Okay, let's just watch that speed. Okay. Give ourselves a little bit more time to prep. See now what I've done. As you can see that we've gone over that 250 knots. We've got the amber orange warning there for our flaps. So let's just bring that. There we go. Now the flaps are back to full again now that we're below 250 knots. And I'd say we're high on this one, but we can probably bring that back. So let's turn in. I'm sure we'll lose some altitude as we make the turn, as well as the speed. Keep the carrier visually if we can. Keep pulling on the stick. Watch the altitude and the speed. And hopefully that's a little bit better. Now I would say we're probably a bit low maybe. Let's try and trim if we can. Okay. Speed's looking better. Let's see what we can do now. See if we can try and keep this in good check. This is so much easier said than done. And trying to do a commentary over the top of it is definitely easier said than done. I still feel like we're a little bit low, which is why I'm aiming the velocity vector a little bit higher than the deck there. I actually feel like we're in the opposite direction now, so we're going to come a little bit left. Keep it coming. A bit of a crosswind as well, which isn't helping us. Aim it at the deck. Down we go. Full mill power. Whoa! Hello! Oh my god! Well, I don't think that was quite Tom Cruise Maverick approved. But we're down. Now, I will admit to you, every single time I've landed on the carrier, that's happened. Where we kind of go off at an angle. Maybe that's my landings. Or maybe that's just how things work on the carrier. But there we go. We've folded the wings up. We've brought the flaps up as well. And I guess we could, yeah, the hook's out the way as well. So we could taxi out the way now. But, well, that was interesting. I'm not really too sure what to say here. Put nose wheel steering to high. We can move out the way if we really wanted to. I'm not really too sure what to say about that. But the fact that this is all free and in the simulator is pretty mind-boggling. If you guys want to download this add-on to get this moving carrier ship, and there's various ones, as I say, located across the world, I'll leave a link down in the description below, and obviously the Top Gun Maverick DLC to get this FA-18 Hornet aircraft is all free as well. So all you need to do is download the freeware scenery package, and then you can come and give it a go yourself and see if you can do a better job than me. It's very tricky though. I think in all honesty, I actually find it easier to fly the Hornet in DCS and land on that. But I mean, can't complain. Beautiful views, beautiful graphics, and a bit of fun, a bit of a silly video this one. So I really hope you all enjoyed this very quick Thrustmaster video for this month. Again, obviously as well, if you want to check out the hardware that I'm using, the Tobii Eye Tracker, along with the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog and the FA-18C Hornet grip, I'll leave a link down to that in the description below. But that's going to do it for this month's sponsored video. Thanks so much for watching. Maybe I'll try some more of these again in the future. See you again soon, guys.